All right, there we go. Hello, chat. uh, I was gonna wait a little bit and get the game set up, but there's things happening, so let's just get right into it. Before we get started, can I just say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you've booted up the game. All right. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set and I appreciate that. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times that you're saying are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see the screen, set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want, even if it's not the correct time. You've earned it. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. Okay. Oh my god. The Stanley Parable 2. Let's go. Alright. The end is never the end. The end is never the end.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Gotta listen to this
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley.
This
Something
is the
he would
bucket
never
stream.
quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Hey.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
So
simply
there are
missed a
two
memo.
endings we've done with the bucket, but not without the bucket. I remember one of them is the escape pod ending. So let's go get
When
that.
Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
And the one where you pick up the phone.
Yet there was not a single person here
Getting
either.
fired. Don't get fired.
Feeling a
All right.
wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Maybe later.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Alright, here we go.
Stepping in...
Oh, here we go. Now we go. Let's go. Let's get this escape pod ending. Hold up. Oh. Chat, you seen that? Yeah. It's the render distance. Didn't think of that. Oh, you can still pick it up. Oh. You are now leaving. Let's go. Floor 76. 760. Hey, wait a second. I know that office. Yeah, it's the same office. Right, escape pod. Let's go. Oh. Okay. Oh.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone?
There we go.
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear. We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone.
Bucket.
Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self. The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
It doesn't have a brow.
Said the bucket. Not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of...
No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing
Oh my
this?
god, bucket lore.
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like...
Am I dead?
My God, Stanley, you
Oh.
did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you
Yeah,
already had all
I killed the
12
bucket.
emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game. And
No,
we'll
no,
agree
no,
to
no,
never
don't
again
restart.
go
I won't keep
trifling
looking
with
at the
this
dead bucket.
nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
I tried to get a screenshot there.
All of his co-workers were
Because the
What
bucket's
did it mean?
dead. I stabbed it,
Stanley
didn't I?
decided to go to the
I
meeting
stabbed
room.
the bucket.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, so then we still gotta do the phone ending regular phone ending.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Glock, can you go back in the stream
truly a room
and
worth admiring. But eager to
send me a
get back to
picture of the
business,
bucket being
Stanley took
stabbed?
the
I wanna
first
make a
open door on his left.
I'm totally not copying.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
Oh,
I realize that investing your trust in some...
Hold on, chat. So sorry. And I'm back. Sorry about that, chat.
One else can be difficult, but the
All right.
fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
Really?
Please, stop
Also,
trying
I
to make
haven't really
every
explored him
decision
there.
by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. I'm asking, this is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life.
Wait, her?
She's
I should just written that.
been waiting.
How do I walk through the
That's
table?
her, Stanley. You need to be...
All right. Whoa.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold
No.
on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and
You
tell me
bake bread?
all
Well,
about
just buy it from the store.
Gotcha. Oh, come on.
No
Did you
real
actually think
person
you had a
bakes
loving
bread.
wife who'd want to commit their life to you. I'm trying to make
Jesus.
a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This
Okay.
is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
No. Okay.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
There wasn't even an oven in the first
But
place.
in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went
Boys.
further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Tell your kids a story.
It was
I
such a
was yelling at
wonderful
my kids.
fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it
This
would
is
never
really
end,
meta.
that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be?
Yay, the
In
woman is
reality, all
gone.
he's doing is pushing the same buttons he
No more
always
woman.
has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Alright, chat, what should I do? Should I press the button? Might have to. Alright.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Nothing. Oh my god. Alright.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Please
and
die.
Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Oh, I'm dead. Alright, so I believe I've been through all the endings without the bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Except
Perhaps he had
actually,
simply missed a memo.
the actual ending. We're gonna do... Hey, Void. He was speaking in, SodaStream. I don't know what he's talking
Stanley
about.
came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Actually, hold on. Hold on. Alright, I'm back. And here's Glock.
Hello there.
There we go. Alright.
Yet there was
So
not
you
a
can
single
shut your
person
mouth
here
about
either.
Glock not
Feeling a
speaking.
wave of disbelief,
He doesn't
Stanley
need to
decided go
talk,
up
but
to his boss's
still,
coming to a
shut your
staircase,
dang mouth.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
And thanks for...
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again
isn't
stunned
code.
to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he
Well,
didn't
he's-
even
no, he's
have a
not.
single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
I'm not Italian.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley
see.
calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Welcome to the stream. Okay, we're just doing the regular, actual ending of the Stanley Parable, what the narrator wants.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him?
Left.
This question would not go unanswered for
Alright.
long.
Yeah, thanks again for boosting.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Yeah. I'm not Italian.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And
I don't think you're supposed to be here.
You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Welcome.
Nope.
You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility
Yeah, he is
was
out, so I'm
bug
replacing
that we
him
simply
for
didn't
now.
catch during development. And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter. And
Yeah, I
really
fixed that,
superior
dude.
about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do
I'll let the
something
narrator
about this
finish.
little goof of ours. So here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that
on.
enhances your perception of the
Shut your
value
mouth
of
for a
these
sec.
updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content? Always more content, more content, more. And I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game.
Yo, Glock, can you mute? Thank you.
Music just for this section.
Way ahead of you.
won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are. We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Good job, you did it. Good
Oh my
job.
god. Should bring the bucket down here.
3, 2, 1. Good job, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. You jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful. You should have been careful. It used to be a bug, but now it's an ending. Now it's an ending. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to cross this barrier and chase your dreams.
I'm gonna see if I can walk through some walls.
Don't mean anything. Good job, you did it. 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 Good job,
Awesome.
you did it.
Yay.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting.
Alright,
Was
we're
it
just
picked
bringing the
Stanley
bucket
picked up
to
the bucket
the-
and smiled. He'd
the
never
bottom
be
of the
alone
facility.
here, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where, coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office,
We're just
Stanley
going
was once again
straight
stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Yeah, there's also the one where you go up and down bucket. Done that one yet? There's a lot we haven't done yet because there's just 2 of every ending now.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
So if the bottom of the facility ending was new
Stanley and the
content,
bucket
we're
walked
gonna
straight
get
ahead
new
through the large door
content
that
with
read,
bringing the bucket down
Mind
there.
Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Alright. Here we go.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being... But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully,
Nothing
he fell
changes.
directly onto the bucket, which
Alright.
safely cushioned his fall.
It does change the
Now,
ending.
what to do next? Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here.
Oh.
So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really wasn't so bad down here, a bit cold perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis. But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all.
So since he
He'd
looked
never
up,
gotten to fully explore what was up there. Never been
Man,
able
does this
to
guy, like,
unearth
play
the many
TF2 or something?
mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning.
oh,
It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path. It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending.
I haven't done the true
This
ending
made
yet,
no
which is
sense at all
funny.
to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was unconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending.
No,
But
it
it's
isn't.
where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually. It's what the bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time.
There we go.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it?
What?
Is this Stanley's office?
Yeah. I started streaming back in November, I believe.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley
almost like a
decided
third
to
of
go
a
up
mo-
to his
of a
boss.
year.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's
Worth a year.
office.
Alright, time to actually get the regular ending.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway.
Thank
Quelle
you.
surprise.
Alright, let's keep going.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Okay, it's like third time we've been through here. I promise I'm not
Rose in an
gonna jump
enormous
off the
room
edge.
packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
No.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Alright.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
I mean, I'm kind of like
Stanley
playing it
had
off
been
as a
under
joke.
someone's control all this time.
You could say
Was this
I'm
the
Italian
only
all you
reason he was
want.
happy with
It
his
still won't
boring
affect
job?
me.
That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't
Employee
accept
pirate.
it. His
Oh my
own
God.
life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life
I think he's
utterly
also playing off
blind
as a
to
joke.
the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this.
No, I don't think it's his
And as the
actual
cold
angry.
reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would...
Alright, there we go. No, you're not. Well, actually, you could be, but I doubt you're a psychiatrist.
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
I can know. I will literally go see him tomorrow in real life.
He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange
I
building
literally
hold?
don't care.
But as
Send-
sunlight
ending's
streamed
the
into
worst.
the chamber, he realized none
Worst
of this
ending.
mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or
Unless
even
it's the
power
bucket
that
version.
he had been seeking.
Well, then the thing
But
just goes
happiness.
back up.
Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do.
I've known Pickle in real life
Whatever life he
longer
lives,
than my
it
channel
will be
has been
his.
making
And that was all
streams.
he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Jesus, that is a
Stanley
big
felt
door.
the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the
Why
way,
is this
right
kind of
now,
stuff,
that
this
things
like
were meant to happen?
area
And
outside of an
Stanley
office building?
Was happy.
Just like stone walls, stone path outside of an office building. Don't make sense.
My immersion.
Hey, my image. Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on
Alright,
another
I'm just
thrilling
gonna
adventure
systematically do all
Stanley
the
clutched
different
the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here.
Now I need to
Stanley needed the bucket's
downstairs.
warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And
Oh.
then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his hand. Am I crazy?
You pissed
He
off
asked
the
bucket.
bot,
The
Void.
bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as
Oh
these.
my god.
He held the bucket close, yet felt none of
keep
its
walking
familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How
Oh,
did
no.
I end up with someone else's bucket?
This
is
isn't
all
my
terribly
bucket.
Wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is
my
it?
God.
I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
Could it truly
I'm
be?
coming for you,
He rushed
bucket.
forward
Oh
from
my
room to
god.
room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his
Uh-huh.
old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then
So
suddenly,
many buckets.
froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
There's a bucket inside me.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any
This
other.
isn't Stanley.
She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she
Bucket.
thought to herself. My life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Oh my god. Alright, more bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be... Stanley clutched
Okay,
the bucket
so
tightly to his
stairs.
chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay. Oh wait, no, we still gotta go up and down the elevator.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where, coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along?
Let
Was
me
the
in.
bucket
Let
guiding
me
him?
in.
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
The bucket knew all along. It's all the bucket. Alright, here we go.
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
Alright. let's go press this number 3.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over. Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life.
Okay.
Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket.
I exposure in the Discord. What the?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator. Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
Alright, we're gonna keep doing this.
No, said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing.
I don't think buckets can talk, Stanley. I have to press 3 again.
Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears. And the whole time, he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all, only silence. Crushed by a
That's
wave
because it's
of
a bucket.
dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
Alright.
Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
Doing this. Oh yeah, and we also gotta do the escape down here with the bucket.
Said Stanley. I know what to do. I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart. He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over. He would elaborate fully on what
the end is never the end, is never the end,
is
never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's. And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work.
Alright, here we go.
For months, he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley was
that
as
was the
prepared
Minecraft door
as
noise.
he'd ever been for anything in his life.
Stage 3.
This was it. One last chance to win the bucket over. One opportunity to share a true connection with a loved one.
Bucket.
There was no one here.
Oh.
Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak, to listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over. He was unloved, uninteresting, he was a failure, and in that moment Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously. There would be no connection, no deeper understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant. They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious.
Can we get a 3 in
that
chat?
Any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference.
Get a 3 in chat.
There would be
Come on,
no
guys.
more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit. Only a silence that consumed the space.
Don't spam or you might get banned by the bot.
And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
Glock, you heard, Ben.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction.
Hold up. There was a bit more turns than usual. Actually, hold on. Can I go back to the my office? No, I can't. Oh, okay.
The one bucket ending that does not exist.
Yep.
Unfortunate.
Okay, so now
Stanley
we go
clutched
to
the bucket
escape.
tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
The bucket lives. I can make the
Still no
bucket
one was
die.
here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more
Oh, we've
than
already done
ever.
that ending.
Perhaps his boss's office was where, coming to a staircase, Stanley
Wait,
and the
no,
bucket
you need
walked
to enter the broom
upstairs to
closet with the
boss's
bucket.
office.
We'll do that last.
Stepping
Oh.
into his manager's office, Stanley was once again
But-
stunned to discover not an indication of any
If
human
only you
life.
did that
But Stanley
sooner.
guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket
It's
guiding
a
That'd
big
be
set.
it.
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
And we go. Now time for the escape area thing. She just kills you.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through
Escape.
the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Ooh, yay. Wait, and the bucket?
The door behind them was
Oh,
not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
I think the bucket's okay with it. Alright, here we go. Yeah, Ben, I have suicide as one of the words that I shouldn't say. Sorry.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
No. Oh. Yes. Haha.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
Whoa. Alright, this way. Stanley Parable.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Can we press F in the chat for the dead bucket? The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You were saying at the perspective of knowledge. Okay, yeah, I'm not reading all that.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life? No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one.
Before you go up
It is
there,
man
go
who
back
should
down
kneel
and look at
before
the painting.
bucket.
Oh, is this the bottomless hole from the exhibit thing?
No.
Hey, don't blame me, blame the bot. No, that painting was just a bunch of buckets.
Yes, but you should have read the thing
No.
next to it.
No.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die.
Yeah, the narrators
together.
care more about the bucket
should
than
take its
you.
place as ruler,
Yeah,
as
the
leader,
bucket
as
is
commander of
best.
a new world, a new
But it's also getting crushed.
Oh. Yeah, bucket.
Me and the bucket die like you and the bucket die like men.
Oh, the office is different. Bucket.
The embrace of an old
Oh.
friend, a weathered companionship
No,
that
oh.
stands the test of time.
Nah, it closed before I could.
No, picking up the bucket invalidated the speed run.
What? Oh,
Yeah, this is the speed run.
I don't care. I'm going for endings, not speedrun.
Yeah, no, the speed run ending is an ending.
Oh, fuck.
Resets.
No. 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 Keep going.
Stanley clutched the bucket
Okay.
tightly to his chin. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yeah, good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk.
Alright,
But
see you,
Stanley
Ben.
chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Alright, here we go.
Now pick up the phone.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders?
Yeah.
Stan, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket.
You being angry is funny.
Oh,
narrator.
goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is.
Oh, no.
It's sitting right
Alright,
there.
time for an
Let's take a look.
instructional video on comedy.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work?
Damn, Ben
How
could have
long
used
should
this.
it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies?
What?
And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever
All right.
told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a
Okay.
room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms
All right.
raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing.
Okay,
To begin
I'm gonna
the
try
joke,
it.
Start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete,
Okay.
it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary.
Okay.
When the joke has
All right.
concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I refuse to say that. I absolutely refuse to
Good.
say that.
This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should
Okay.
include the same question reprinted several times, just
All
to
right.
ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invaders who threaten our very existence, and
Oh
to very
my
likely
God.
die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children
Yeah.
must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
Yes.
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that
Alright.
in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
Alright, back to the thing.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we have the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. But I
True.
wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
Alright. The bucket spake. Stanley. Whoa. Chad, did you see that?
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left.
No.
What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There was supposed to be several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point. A dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the 2 doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think...
Oh no. Feel bad, chat. Should go through the left door.
Rewatch that instructional video again.
No, not the
Sure,
not the video.
that'll help me improve my... Here we go.
Oh,
You
thank
ready?
God.
When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2
Are
open
you
doors,
done
they
with
entered
the
door on
funny?
left. No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley.
What?
I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes.
Fucking God.
Let me try that again,
He's
Stanley.
doing puns now.
I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not? Is it the delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame? Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal, I think I saw it playing guitar. No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional
No, not the instructional videos.
Let's see.
Please. Alright. That's the ending.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself. That's all I need. If I can make it through this door... The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both a... Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
Let's do the insanity.
Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting, and so the 2 of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Alright.
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find
Whoa.
this place eventually.
We care about you, Stanley.
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care
no, this is
about
an
you very
intervention.
much. It's this bucket
This-
you're carrying around.
This is the
everywhere.
only ending that
The
is
bucket
exclusive
isn't
to the
even
bucket.
from the original Stanley Parable. It's just
What?
sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the
This
first
bit.
game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because
Ah,
that's
the
what
classic
fans
characters
want from a
of
sequel. They want
the
more
Adventure
of their
Line.
favorite jokes, not this bucket
Broom
that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the
Well,
one who
they're
gave
jealous
you the
over a
but
bucket.
you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, that's what the fans want.
All
Let's
right.
do it. Whee!
Get the
Look at
adventure
that
music.
wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. What about the fern?
Now Now this is what the
Aw.
Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
What?
It's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
No, I'm not giving up the bucket. You can't make me.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
No.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
What?
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does?
He's trying to get
Surely
me
you don't
mad.
need me to spell
I
it out
know,
for you.
but
Go
I have
ahead
no
now,
idea what
Stanley.
he's saying.
Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're
Helltaker
ready.
character,
Oh.
PFP.
Now listen to me.
I'm not
It's crucial that
destroying
you
the
give it the
bucket.
bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see,
Wait,
if you were
this
to
has two
really explore
endings
the
depending
Bucket
on if you
Destroyer,
put the
you'll
bucket
see
in
that
or
its
not?
desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What
Oh
other
my
object in
God.
this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset
Oh my
now. You'll
God.
have to hurry and feed it. We can't
No.
get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it.
Oh,
the
God.
fans, Stanley, give the
Get
fans
away
what
from
they
the Bucket
want.
Destroyer.
Hurry and
Bucket Destroyer.
The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Wait. He is? Hold up. Oh, yo, the whiteboard ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could
Go.
it mean?
You get to look at
Stanley
that.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
He is
simply missed a
streaming.
memo.
Oh my god. Void, I see what you said in Cowboy's chat. Bruh. Oh, dog mode. We got dog mode. Oh my god.
Not
Bucket.
everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
Alright, we gotta go to the
Stanley
insanity
had felt
ending
the bucket
again.
calling to him, telling him
But
that
feed the bucket,
employee
destroy the
lounge
bucket.
was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've
Oh,
come together here because we care
that's an
about
ending
you
we
all
haven't
the
done. The cheat room.
It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere.
Oh, that's
The bucket
what Dog
isn't
Mode
even
does.
from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
All right, let's feed the bucket.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was
Yes,
back
amazing
then.
joke.
Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up. Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket.
Oh no.
That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
Oh.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
All right.
Can you
Fine.
guess what the Bucket Destroyer does?
Destroys
Surely you
buckets.
don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
All right. Goodbye, bucket.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you
Oh,
get the bucket.
okay. You're not supposed.
I don't know what the
Okay.
Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets
Okay,
is all
well,
it knows.
I thought you
That
would be
is
able to
its
feed it
singular
bucket.
personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only
All right. Yeah, we don't need to sit through that again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded on. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge
Right.
was simply the place to be.
Should we go through
And
the
here
red
it was.
or the
Had
blue
bucket
door?
turned out to be correct? Was no, never mind.
Chad, which
Bucket
one?
was wrong.
Or Glock?
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift.
Boyd says red.
Go
I say
good.
blue.
All right. I trust
Now
Glock
ride
more.
the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk.
Wait.
But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact.
We haven't done
He
the
was firmly convinced
just
that the bucket
jump
had
off the
spoken to him,
lift
and he
onto the flat
unthinkingly did
pavement
whatever the bucket asked.
with the bucket. We haven't done that.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point.
Oh
Stanley,
no!
how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket.
We're gonna watch another instructional video.
Step in here for a moment.
Okay.
No.
Is this a
Now,
bucket?
I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the
Should I
thing
get
I'm
these
showing
wrong
you
or
is a
right?
bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Alright, chat, is it a bucket? Yes or no? Alright, chat. Is it a bucket? Okay, it's not a bucket.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Okay. Alright. Is this a
Item 2.
bucket?
Is this a bucket?
Is it a bucket? Okay.
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Alright.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Oh god, I can't. I don't know. Oof. Chat, what do you think? Alright.
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
Oh no.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Oh, it's clearly a bucket.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
There we go.
Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Correct. This is a bucket.
What?
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
No.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
What?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
Yep, that's a bucket.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing?
No.
Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
Yes.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a
There
bucket
we go.
is? Am I a bucket?
Yes.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't
You're a
have
bucket.
that. I'm sorry.
Oh my god, it's a
I'm going to
raid.
erase all buckets from the game entirely.
Give
Okay,
us the
here we
monies.
go.
No, we don't got any monies. All we got is buckets. All we got is buckets. So we don't have any
What
money.
happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my god, I had no idea. How could... except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley.
No, I
you're still
will
here.
not give you the
You're
bucket.
not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get
I am
some
not
clarity
giving you
on
the
that
bucket
issue,
soda.
But it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what. I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
So everything's a bucket. Sell the organs. Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting
So
room.
then I still haven't gone to one place with or without the bucket.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge
So
first,
be careful,
just to
the
admire
bot
it.
might like ban you
The
for
lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps
spamming.
too, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Where was this way? Here we'll go.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. You didn't think I was actually just a recording,
Oh,
did you?
thank God.
What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording?
Us cat,
It was
there's a
all
roar.
just in
Gee.
Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do.
There we go.
Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
What? This isn't my fault. Kidneys, your heart, and your lungs. Give them to me. No. Take voids. Phone?
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Okay, there's gonna be a lot of boxes then.
Stanley cradled the bucket in a gentle embrace, protective yet delicate, assertive yet compassionate. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay, what else do we have to do? Oh yeah, we still gotta go down the thing.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Alright, I think
No,
we've gotten almost
said the
all
bucket.
the bucket endings.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there.
Alright, we're back here with the bucket. Oh.
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number.
Give us all the monies.
Ugh.
This way.
Track.
Oh
Yep.
my god.
Nothing
All we have is buckets.
anymore.
We will accept buckets with organs inside to sell.
This is a bucket warehouse.
Less sense.
We don't have organs.
Yes.
We still only have buckets.
The sheer euphoria I feel.
Wow, there's such a lag. I'm hearing it on the stream.
Yeah.
No matter how many
It was the
times
same
I've
with
done
me
it,
yesterday.
It's always the same
Yeah.
feeling.
Right now,
just-
I'm just talking about buckets on my side.
When
Oh
I
my
sit
God.
down, it doesn't make sense.
So how are you enjoying the
There's
game?
no
Oh, that's pretty good.
explanation for it.
Nice.
Bucket.
Still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it.
What?
Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of
Yeah, I
money
was on a
people
killing
will pay
spree on
for
this
even
one
just
server,
an hour
right?
with the bucket.
And it disconnected me.
It's my
It was so
golden
sad.
ticket.
I had like
But I
maybe
have to be
11
careful,
people.
Because as soon as
Oh my
this gets
God.
out, there's going to be a target on my back. You
Ouch,
never
I'm getting
know,
stabbed.
I don't know who might be trying to.
Ow! I joined in like a three-person brawl.
Who's
The
there?
guy was bunny hopping away, and I got chopped in the back.
Damn,
Welcome to the
the server thought you were cheating.
No, it's like high ping or whatever, and it happened all of a sudden, and I was fine the rest of the time. Yeah, it was a moment of depression, very sad. Okay.
Alright.
Bloodlust.
Hold on.
Okay, got a second. Let's go. Oh, there's a third that's shooting me. Ouch. Now, I will wait in the shadows.
Okay.
Oh no, he's got a shotgun. In close quarters. I'm dead. I'm screwed.
Oh shit, oh fuck.
Whoa, there's a secret dark
Oh my
spot
God.
Were gone.
on the
What
map.
could it mean?
Perfect for
Stanley decided to go
ambushes.
to the meeting room.
They
Perhaps
ordered
Speaking
all
of
these
which-
boxes. I
Boxes.
got boxes and buckets. Oh my god.
Dude, this guy's speed running. Oh, no. You die.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
Earlier today, a guy was just picking up like a black powder barrel, and I shot him, and he just exploded into pieces.
Alright.
And here it
It was so hilarious.
What game are you playing?
Fistful of Frags.
Oh, okay.
Stanley took the door on his left.
Dude, I killed 4 people in a row or something just now.
No, said the bucket.
Aren't you
Alright.
proud of me being a mass murderer?
This is the last ending I could think of.
Yes.
Killing myself while holding a bucket.
Ride the left or Stanley feared that any path he walked might
I
lead
just
to
got
the
shot. I
separation of
couldn't
himself
find the
and
guy. I
bucket,
was so
his
dead.
dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms.
I just wanted to
How
get the
deep
double
it
barrel
touched
shotgun.
Alright, I think that's it. Unless if I can
All of
bring
his
the
co-workers
bucket
were
to...
gone. What could it
Ouch!
mean?
I'm getting shot by like 3 people at the same time!
With Stanley at all? No, surely not.
Okay, I gotta be careful when I join in on a big gunfight like that, of where I am.
Alright.
Okay, I think I know where that guy came from.
To his chest and entered the door on his left.
Oh! No! 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 No!
Still no one was
Dead.
there. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's
And here we
office was
wait.
Stanley. Can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
Boy,
You can
Drinker is
feel it,
wanting me
can't
to
you? The
co-sign
aura of
on the
jealousy is
statement
as
that
clear
he
as
is
day.
better
This
than
broom
you.
closet
Yeah, I
believes
saw-
What
I
is your
that.
response to
bucket.
that, sir?
I saw that, and
It's a
I
bucket.
told him
It
off
belongs
for
in a
it.
broom closet. That's what the broom
That
closet is.
you
trying
are
to say
fake
here.
news,
Supposed to go with
fan.
the other cleaning supplies. Good
Yes.
for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over
Oh.
the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong.
Okay,
This
I
is your
couldn't
bucket.
easily
This is your
die here.
companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh no. We're getting into name calling now, it
Ouch.
seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk?
Dude,
that it
the
has to resort to
shotguns.
this
I
stream
just
of
wanted to
petty
grab one on my
insults
own and
simply
I'd
in
be
order to get you to
unstoppable.
hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom
Yes,
closet for a variety
yes,
of reasons.
yes.
None of it worse
I
than
have
imagined. And
the
yet, now the
all-powerful
broom closet has the
shotgun
gall to imply
who
that
can
you and the
withstand
bucket are not
me.
truly deep and lasting friends.
That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your
Oh,
life
apparently
is so
the guy
banal
that
and
just snuck
meaningless
up
that
on
you
me.
feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which
Rest in
happened to lay
peace.
in your path in an
Spy
even
from Team
partially
Fortress 2.
enticing manner? Well, I never.
I
Go
am
on,
the
Stanley.
spy.
Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its
Prepare for
demeaning
the pop.
comments.
Oh no,
Expand
that's
on the
German.
wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have
Prepare
shared together.
for
Go through
the
each
butt
of them
stops.
point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your
I
feelings
just
for the
found a
bucket,
blue
as they
chest.
have
What can I
changed
get
and
from
evolved
this?
over the years.
Sure,
have it.
Schofield, whatever. Or Double Trouble. There we go. I'm fine with this.
Okay, I've
Get
got you
close
something which I
and just
think
shoot
will help
people.
settle this debate once and for
Like,
all.
lots of shooting.
Here we go. There. Now it's
Yeah.
no more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all
I
your
am in a
meandering
zone of
philosophical
death right now.
diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies.
He's right
and their
behind me.
relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Ouch! Ouch! How I be? Play, Anissa?
All right, I've got a second sticker back here. and
Considering-
I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's a.
Oh wow, explosions! I am doing great.
I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket.
See,
That way, if you're
I
ever
found
unsure
person
whether
to
the thing
kill.
you're
I'm
holding
doing
is
great.
a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, "Ah, it's a bucket." There really is a wide variety.
I want
of
to find
applications
the
for
red
this sticker.
chest for the double bubble barrel. Oh no!
You know what? I could take the name calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet
yes,
is just giving us the
perfection.
silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of
Okay.
cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in.
Okay,
I'll
it's
see
just
you
the dude that's
outside,
next to the
and we
wall
can get
or
on with the
above
story
me
about
somewhere.
you and your bucket.
I'm
Alright,
not
yeah.
sure where to get to him.
I think I've done all the endings.
Coming to a staircase,
Nice.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's
Bucket
office.
stream might be over.
Now all that's left is the epilogue.
No more buckets. No. Rest in peace, bucket stream.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's like two people instantly busted into the room
wait,
while I was reloading. Dang. Yes,
I know about
Pleonisa,
this
murder is a good way to start the day. The immediate adrenaline
I know
rush,
this was a thing.
the wild look in the eyes.
Wait.
It's like only killing people could get that feeling. Disclaimer, I am not killing people or I'm a murderer.
Oh yeah, okay, that's not an ending. Oh, so what do you mean epilogue?
Okay.
Stepping in
Ow!
office, Stanley was
So-
once
No
again
shooting
stunned
me.
to discover not an
So you're gonna have
indication of
to-
human life.
Ouch.
Crushed by
restart the
weight
game
of
a
this
few times.
Rest in peace.
So just over and over and over?
Not restart, but open and close the game.
Oh, okay. Check and see that for themselves. This is the end of the stream. Thanks for watching.
Congratulations.
You survived, baby.
For now. I am 50 meters from your location and approaching rapidly.
Dies. From it's like just appear from underneath the desk all of a
Alright.
sudden. It's
Yeah.
like a short cut off screen. Ah! Just cuts out. The end. You died.
But what about yourself?
Alright, for people who don't know, Glock literally walked into my room and spoke through my microphone.
Ah yes, gaming. I am pro gamer. Yes, quite. I'm on
Alright,
the
yeah.
wrong side of the battlefield of where I want to be.
Oh,
Fresh blood.
Pickle murdered you? Okay. That's cool. I'm glad you did that. No. I don't know how you're talking, but okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Glock lives with me.
I think I just killed someone with my boot. Nice.
Why do you think he's like the highest admin? Because I like know him in real life.
Connections. Okay.
No, you're not.
I'm finally in the building that I want to be in, but I don't think I'm gonna survive.
Void, if you were 1 meter from my location, I'd be holding a gun right now. And I'm not, so clearly you're not breaking and entering. Alright. Well, that's the end of the stream. Like and subscribe.
No, escape down the stairs. Stop reloading.
Visit the Discord in the description. Do all that good stuff.
Yes, subscribe to him, and especially me. You don't need to subscribe to him.
You should unsubscribe from and subscribe to me.
Whatever you do, do not subscribe to Glock. He will delete his channel.
You don't even have a channel.
Oh, technically I had to make one in order to have a YouTube. In order to do the chat stuff.
Oh, yeah. Alright. Thanks,
But yes.
everyone coming out here. And I'll see you in the next one.